No blacks, no Irish, no dogs. A lot of us black people are under the illusion that we have it hard now, you know. A lot of us black people are actually deluded to think that we're the only people them in the world that have had it hard. Imagine modern day times, 2022. Imagine being out with one of your brethren, your local town centre, you're hungry. You say to your brother, come blood, let's quickly go Nando's and a quick lunch and it, boom. Imagine not being allowed in your local Nando's because you're a black man or you're an Irish man. Imagine not being allowed to go to your local Cineworld cinema because you're a black man or an Irish man. Imagine not being allowed to go to your local pub if you're a drinker because you're a black man or you're an Irish man. So that's what they used to have on the pubs, the front doors, at a prohibition notice, blood. No blacks, no Irish, no dogs. People then think we have it hard now. It was worse back then. What? Late 50s and 60s? For a black man and an Irish man? It was long, blood. I can understand why, I'm not justifying it, but I can understand why the English people then was racist to the black people and that. Because they look different and rare. But it's like, you know, they was on madness when they was racist to the Irish people then. For one, they look just like them. And for two, the reason why there was so much Irish people in this country at one time is because it had been bombed to smithereens, London, by the Germans and that. And they were sent to come over to help build back up the flipping bomb site that the Germans left. Instead of the English local people them welcoming them with open arms and, you know, appreciating the fact that they've come over to work, probably working for peanuts, even at that time, they're probably cheap labour. Instead of welcoming them with open arms and appreciating the fact that they're coming over to build back up their capital city, nah, they got a better pushback and that. Madness. Imagine that, being out and about and that. You can't even go in certain establishments and that because you're either a black man, you're an Irish man. And you haven't come over here to do no madness. You ain't come over here with crime on your agenda. You've just come over here to work. So the Irish people then, they came over to help build back up London, and the West Indies, mainly Jamaicans and that, we came over to work as bus drivers, train drivers, and the women then was nurses. My grandma was a nurse. My dad's mom was a nurse. She actually came over during the Windward. She actually came over. You know, they run them jokes and that say, oh yeah, you came over on a banana boat. No, my grandma actually came over on a boat. She came in 1969 and she told me the first place she came to was actually Edmonton. Then she went to Hackney. Imagine that, imagine them times there, you just come over, you want to work, you get me, things are slow back home in Jamaica and that, and you get me, when you get off work and that, you can't even go to your local pub. Cause remember, they don't have Xbox back then. They didn't have Instagram back then. They didn't have phones and that. You just, get me, there was limited stuff to do and that. And you can't even go to your local pub and just mix and mingle with the people them in your local area and that. It was either here and or America. You know, in the toilets and that. You know, we got cubicles in normal toilets. So in a men's toilet, you got the urinal where man stand up and piss. Then you got the cubicle where man might sit down and get me, and man try. I don't promote anyone use public toilets and that for that. But the normal cubicles and that were for the white people, and they had separate cubicles for coloured people, i.e. black people and possibly Asian people. Their cubicles were different. You know, the normal cubicles go up to the ceiling and that, and you'd have to literally be 7 foot to be able to look over. You see the black people, them's cubicles, they were like chest height. So I'll put it this way, when a black man's sitting down on the toilet, you can see him. It's their way of humiliating black people. But you know what? Instead of running away back home and that, nah, black people, they stood their ground, you know. See, man, they need to remember that. And the gal them too. Black people in general need to remember that, you know. If it wasn't for them black people standing their ground, you think we would have the equal rights we do in this country now? So you think you have it hard now? I'm telling you, black, you don't have it hard, fam. You're just lazy. That's why man never support this victim mentality. Oh, I'm a black man, it's difficult. It ain't difficult. Yeah, back then. Man, I always talk about, and I make references that, yeah, it was difficult for black people back then. 60s, 70s, whatever, innit? But now, nah, there's too much opportunities for us. If you're a black man and you're not making something of yourself, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. It's too easy out here. Like I say all the time, my life was difficult when I made it difficult for myself. As soon as I got on the right path and decided, you know what, man, why not give the streets things a rest? Why not get an apprenticeship and that? My life is easy. Man, don't get stopped and searched by the police no more. There's hundreds of opportunities out there. You have to go and find it. But you're never going to find it if you ain't even put yourself in the right mind frame to find it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go for 1-2 job interviews and that, and you don't get it, and automatically you blame it on the colour of your skin. It's not the colour of your skin. It's your mindset. There's certain man, they feel like they weren't able to get that job promotion because they're a black man. It's not because you're a black man. To become a manager is more than just, because certain men think that they're entitled to become manager just because they worked the job for 6 years and that. No. Do you have leadership skills? Is your paperwork on point? Are you the first man in? Are you willing to be the last man out? Are you willing to work overtime, hour here and there for free? This is what it takes to be a manager, you know. Are you the type of person to set your emotions and your friendships aside and fire an employee that's not doing his job properly? See, everyone thinks to become a manager, all you need to do is time serve. No. There's many people that have been in jobs for 10, 20 years, but they ain't management material. They have no air of authority. They're not a respectable individual. You got to be of a certain caliber to be a manager and that. And you know what? I'll throw the Asian people in this as well. Asian people have it hard. Especially back in the day, man. You heard about all them stories, racist white kids throwing bricks through the Asian people, them's yards, setting the shops alight and that. They had it hard. You know what? They just get on with it. And speaking of getting on with it and it being hard, and they're just pushing through, and the racist environments and that, you could go to the most racist parts of the country. There will still be that Indian corner shop. Them man, they don't care. Yeah. Everyone hates us, but you know what? Newspaper for sale. Get on with it. Get on with it. Everyone experiences it. Trust me. Anyone that comes into someone else's territory and they start making money and that, they experience it. It's not just white people doing it to black people and Asian people. Even in Jamaica, they don't like the fact that the Chinese have come over and they're building up roads and all them things there. And I heard something about them doing it in Africa as well. Anytime you got people who are foreign, and when I say foreign, they don't mean any particular race of people and that. Anyone that is not from this land that comes to this land and they're making money, we got a problem with it. Not just black people that have problems with racism and them things there. Even in Stamford Hill. I remember one time when I was working, shadowing a man at this new job. You know, like you start a new job, you shadow someone for a couple of days. I'm driving around with this guy in Hackney and we're going through Stamford Hill. And I said to the guy, why is there security outside the Jewish children's schools? And he said, cause you know what, there's some people that used to go and beat up the Jewish people. And I said, what? And why you want to trouble? The Jewish people don't do nothing to nowhere. They just stick to themselves and leave the people them alone. So this is still going on now, you know, like they still got security outside the schools because there must be some threat in the form of who or what, I don't know. But for the fact that they got security outside the schools, they must feel threatened in that. It's not just black people that have it hard. Not just black people that have it hard, man. Anytime people talk about people having it hard in history, it's always black people, and that's like, blood. What about the Jews and that? How many millions of Jews got killed off by Hitler and them? We seem to think that we were the only people that were enslaved in there. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the original slaves of the Caribbean was actually Irish people, you know. But they couldn't handle the heat, so they had to go and get people that could handle the heat. So they went to Africa to collect us. And who even promoted slavery? So you have to check it, you know. Yeah, the white people then came over to Africa. But if we fought them off and put up a good battle, yeah, we would have lost bodies and that. They would have killed off some of us, we would have killed off some of them. But you know what? People like to live life on easy mode, you know. If the white people then came over to Africa and they got a hell of a fight, yeah, them man, they come with their guns and that, but you know, we're in trees with sticks and stones and bow and arrow and that, and we was dropping bodies on their side, they were dropping bodies on our side. You know what, they would have thought, you know what, let's go and pick on someone else, or let's just give it a rest. But no, what did us black people have to do? We allowed ourselves to get influenced by the white people, them, yeah, here's guns and that. Just bring us some of your own, i.e. other tribes and that, and we will trade them. Some of us black people actually enslaved and captured other black people and sold them off to the white people. So that just meant, that was just ammunition, that was reason for them to come back for more of us. And in that time, them coming over and saying, yeah, look, we got these guns and that, get us some slaves and that. They probably went out, got some slaves, so the black people then probably kidnapped other tribes and that, say, yeah, we got some, and then they say, all of you lot get on the fucking boat. Yeah, they probably double-crossed them, man, they snaked them, man, yeah, you lot go out and get us some slaves and we'll trade them for guns and that. And then when they bring them over, yeah, all of you lot get on the fucking boat, we got the gun, what are you gonna do? Dumb. Black people, we need to take some responsibility, you know. We're talking about, white people need to give back to black people and that. So you want to go back in time and you want to talk about, well, we need to take some responsibility for that. A part of slavery, part of why some of us got sold off as slaves and that is because of us. Yeah, but man, they forget that part. Man have amnesia. I didn't read that in the book. Yeah, man, no blacks, no Irish, no dogs, man. You think it's hard now? Try living back then. Yeah, try living back in the 60s and that. Long. It's easy. We got life on easy mode right now. So if you're not making nothing of yourself, you're actually disrespecting your ancestors and that, you know. See that today, see a lot of these people that are into the Pan-Africanism movement and that. Yeah, black people, this rare, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X and that. Them lot, they will be turned over in their graves to know, say that them lot fought for equality for black people and that. And you lot just coast along through life, riding it on easy mode. Imagine what imagine what your ancestors went through. Your great grandma times 10 and your granddad times 10. Imagine what they went through on the boats, getting raped, getting humiliated, whipped, beaten, punished. Man get their leg chopped off for trying to escape and that. Imagine going through all of that. For then their descendants to then just take the piss and not make nothing of themselves. Being lazy. Should feel guilty. Me personally, I know say my ancestors will be proud of me. Yeah. Man messed about and was on the wrong path, innit? But you know what? Sometimes, and I'm not promoting anyone going on the wrong path to find the right path, but sometimes you have to be lost to be found. My ancestors and that, they'll say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, respect to this brother here, innit? Yeah, he was on the wrong path, but he's on the right path now. Some of you lot have never been on the wrong path before, like that, but you're not on any path, you're still lost. Yeah, man, that's enough for today. Think you got it hard, man. Try living back in the 60s and that, when opportunities was limited. You couldn't even get a certain job because of the colour of your skin. No matter what your skill set was, they didn't even want to hear it. Not interested, blood. Stay wise, done now.